Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about Naxxramas and Scholomance and Tier 3. So this is going to be a full guide on how to unlock old Scholomance, the vanilla version of Scholomance in Retail WoW, and learn the ability to craft some of the removed Naxxramas Transmog from vanilla WoW as well, and also Tier 3. Tier 3 is also coming back with this secret as well. So yeah, a lot to go through, but before we jump into all of that, I just want to shout out my Twitch, twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, Dragonflight PTR, and more, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. Right, so yes, Naxxramas Transmog and old Scholomance are coming back in patch 10.1.5. This was encrypted on the PTR for a long time, and we kind of had drips and drabs and kind of teasers of it coming, but now with the patch being live, the absolute mega minds of the WoW Secret Finder Discord have figured it all out. Don't know how they did it, it's absolutely incredible. Also shout out to Narissa at Wowhead for putting it all together into kind of easy to read articles as well. I'll leave the articles down below as well if you want to check those out. Definitely couldn't have done this video without them, and because of them, we now know how it's all obtained, and it's actually really cool, it's actually really interesting, and it's a lot of fun as well. So the way this video is going to work is that we're going to split it into 3 parts. So the first part is going to be going through how to unlock old Scholomance, so the Scholomance from vanilla WoW, including all the loot and transmog from that dungeon. Then we're going to talk about how to unlock the secrets within Naxxramas, so all of the stuff inside Nax, and then finally how to get some of the ancient patterns and Tier 3. Yes, you can craft Tier 3 at a cost. It's kind of convoluted, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Okay, so first, let's talk about unlocking old Scholomance. So the first thing you need to do here is obtain a toy. Now, you don't have to get this toy. You just need to know someone who has this toy, but you can get it yourself. The toy is called Kraskenoff's Bag of Horrors. Now, this is obtained from Dr. Theolen Kraskenoff, who is a rare boss in Heroic Scholomance. So basically what you need to do here is run Heroic Scholomance. After Rattlegore, you'll see a yell in the chat that says the doctor is in. That'll mean that the rare elite is spawned, so he'll just be in the next room. You kill him and it's 100% for the toy. Now, this is annoying because obviously it is heroic version, so it does have a daily lockout. So you basically just got to throw a load of ults until the boss spawns and you can get the toy. But as mentioned, you don't have to do that part, but it does make it a lot easier. So next up, what you want to do is run the entirety of Scholomance. You could do this on normal or heroic, but I recommend normal just because it's a lot easier. So once you've completed the run and killed Dark Master Gandling, you want to head upstairs and go to the back room of the boss area. Here you'll see a pile of bones. Now this is where you either want to use your Bag of Horrors toy or have someone that has this toy. What you want to do is stand on top of these bones and use the toy. What this toy will do will transform you into Dr. Theolen Kraskenoff, and once you've done that, Eva Sarkov will actually spawn if you've done it correctly. Now, all you have to do here is either remove the toy's appearance or get the person who did it to remove the appearance, and then you'll be able to speak to Eva. Now, once you've gone through all the text with Eva, she'll eventually give you an item called an Inert Spectral Essence, and you'll also notice on the bone pile there'll be an interactive bone that you can click there. That'll be Eva's femur, so make sure you pick up that as well. That's imperative to this whole process. So once that's all done, you should have the Inert Spectral Essence and Eva's femur. Now, on the way out of Scholomance here, you want to go pick up Eva's journal. Now, Eva's journal is in the room before Gandling in the kind of library area. This is an interactable book on the bookshelf to the right of where you kind of go into the Gandling's corridor. So the book is actually lighter than the rest of the books on the bookshelf. It's a little hard to see, but you'll be able to click it there and get Eva's journal, which is another part of this process. So now you have these 3 things. You want to head to the auction house and purchase some items for your Inert Spectral Essence to turn it into a Spectral Essence. Now, it's pretty easy. These items are 5 Essences of Undead and 3 Dark Runes. These, again, can just be purchased on the auction house. Not too expensive at all. I don't know if they're going to go up as time goes on, but when I did it, they were pretty cheap. And once you've got these, you want to click your Inert Spectral Essence to create a Spectral Essence trinket for you to wear. So what this trinket does when it's equipped is let you see ghosts in Caer Darrow, which is the island that Scholomance is located on. So for the next and final part of unlocking old Scholomance, we need to get 5 different candles. Now these are purchased from ghosts in Caer Darrow, but they're traded for different items which you can pick up around Azeroth. So really what you want to do here is kind of collect all the items and then purchase them kind of all together just to save time. So the first item we're going to need is the Road Ahead. Now this is located in Corrin's Crossing in the Eastern Plaguelands. I'll leave all the coordinates for all all of these things down in the description below, so you can just stick them on your TomTom and kind of fly around and pick them up. But this is a picture on the wall in the inn, just by the stairs of that building. Now, while we're in the Eastern Plaguelands, we may as well get the Trampled Doll item, which we also need. Now, this is in the southern area of the Eastern Plaguelands in this location right here. This is just a doll on the floor by a wagon, just behind the front wheel of that wagon. So you just want to pick that up, and that will give you the Trampled Doll item. The next item you're going to need is the undelivered shipment of smokes. Now, this is actually inside live Strathome. This is the left-hand entrance to Strathome in the Eastern Plaguelands. What you want to do there is just head inside Strathome, hit a left and then another left, and head over to like where the postman spawned, I think it was, back in the day. Now, you'll see a cart there. Now, inside the cart is an interactable object. You just want to click that, and that will give you the undelivered shipment of smokes, which is the next item we need. So the last two items we need are in the Western Plaguelands. Now, the first one is the Deed to Anderhall. So this is obviously in Anderhall in the Western Plaguelands. Now, all you want to do here is go into the Town Hall building, as you can see here on the map. Again, coordinates will be down below. And on the wall to the right-hand side will be the Deed to Anderhall. We just click that, and that will give you the item you need. The final item we're going to need here is actually in Caer Darrow. Now, this is the Caer Darrow fountain water. This is just a bucket located on the fountain in the middle of the island. Very easy to see. It's just on the wall there. So now that you've got all of these 5 items, it's time to trade them for candles with ghosts in Caer Darrow. Now, obviously, it goes without saying, make sure you equipped your Spectral Essence trinket to be able to see the ghosts in this area. If you don't have it on, you won't be able to see them. So the first item, the road ahead, is going to be traded to artist Renfrey. Now, she is located in a house on the outer portion of Caer Darrow near the docks. The next item, the undelivered shipment of smokes, is going to be traded to Rory. Now, Rory is on the docks in this sort of same area. You'll see him just standing at the end there. Next, you want to head to the fountain in Caer Darrow, where you got the fountain water, and speak to Sammy. And Sammy will trade you the ghost warding candle for the Trampled Doll item you obtained earlier. From there, you want to follow the path up towards Scholomance onto the second level of Caer Darrow. Here you want to speak to Joseph Dirt. Now, he will trade you the Stinky Candle for the Caer Darrow fountain water. And the final item you need to trade is the Deed of Anderhall. This goes to Magistrate Marduk. Magistrate Marduk is to the right-hand side of Scholomance, kind of if you're looking at the entrance. He will trade you the authentic Anderhall candle. So once that's done, you should now have these items in your bag. Eva's Journal, Eva's Femur, Stinky Candle, Tobacco Field Candle, Ghost Warding Candle, Authentic Anderhall Candle, and the Imported Candle. Now, once you have all of those, you can now perform the ritual. What you want to do here is head into the building where Scholomance is, take a right and then another left, and follow it all the way to the back room, and this is where you want to click Eva's Journal. This will start a ritual and eventually spawn a book, and give you the achievement Memory of Scholomance. Now, this is where you can actually enter the vanilla version of Scholomance. This is complete with all of the loot, all of the transmog, and all of the items which were back from Vanilla WoW, and this is an account-wide unlock as well. So once you've done this on one of your characters, all of your characters will have access to the vanilla version of Scholomance. Okay, so let's talk about the next part of this process, and that is unlocking the secrets within Naxxramas. So now that you have Vanilla Scholomance unlocked, you want to jump back into Old Scholomance and head to the Rattlegore room. Now, Rattlegore is in a different location in Vanilla Scholomance to the Mr. Pandaria version. He's in like the back room, just kind of follow it back. You can go down like a little hole and things like that. But once you're in that room, on the left-hand side, just near the entrance, is a pile of bones. And at the back of this pile of bones is a very small game object, and this is the Cracked Argent Dawn Commission. So what you want to do here is just simply click it and loot the Cracked Argent Dawn Commission. So this commission needs to be repaired, so you're going to need some items for this. So what you're going to need is a Righteous Orb and 4 True Steel Bars. Of course, as usual, the easiest way to do this is just simply on the auction house. It's not too expensive. And once that's done, you click the Cracked Argent Dawn Commission, and that will create the Argent Dawn Commission trinket. Now, this is the exact same item from Vanilla WoW, so if you already have one of these, you can use it, or if you previously had one, you can speak to someone in Chillwind Camp or the Bulwark to generate a new one. Now, once you have the trinket, you want to equip it and head back into Vanilla Scholomance. You want to go into the dungeon here and head to Dark Master Gandling and kill Dark Master Gandling. Now, because you have the Argent Dawn Commission, he will now drop a new item called the Dark Master's Scourge Stone, and this will actually start a quest called the Dark Master's Scourge Stone. Now, this is a very simple quest. Just head to the Light's Hope Chapel to Duke Nicholas Zeranoff. This will give you the ability to gain Scourge Stones from Strathome, Scholomance, and Naxxramas, and this is an account-wide unlock, much like all of this process. So from the Light's Hope Chapel, you want to head into the live Strathhome. This is the entrance on the left-hand side of the map. Once inside, you want to find an NPC called the Eye of Naxxramas. Now, these NPCs are hidden throughout the instance and will randomly spawn once you engage like random trash mobs. You'll find them pretty quickly, just at like the first intersection normally. One will spawn, and once you kill that, you will see that they drop a new item called the Ward of Naxxramas. Now, don't use this item just yet. We're going to need some Strathhome Holy Water. You actually need Strathhome Holy Water for another part of this later on as well, so just pick up a few of them. They're in the kind of glowing supply crates around Strathhome. They're literally everywhere, so just pick up like, you know, up to like 4 or so just to make sure that you've got enough. And then from there, you need to head over to the Crusaders Cathedral, which is on the left-hand side towards the last boss of the instance. But don't go inside the cathedral. You want to hit a left here and head over to the gate. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So once you're standing by the gate, use your Ward of Naxxramas, and this should spawn a Dread Ward. Now, use the Strathhome Holy Water on it, target it, and it should destroy it and give you a new debuff called Sleight of Hand. Now, this is a 5-minute debuff. This is where you have to run like lightning. You have to run from this part of the instance into the undead section of Strathhome and kill Lord Arius Rivendare. Yeah, that's the last boss of the undead side. From here, you just want to head all the way to the right-hand side of the map, through the gate, and then north once you get in there. Now, make sure you kill all of the mini-bosses and the NPCs inside to unlock the final gate to this dungeon. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a mad rush, but you will have probably a plenty amount of time. So yeah, just kill all the mini-bosses, then head into the area where the last boss is, kill the abominations, kill the abomination boss, kill the skeletons, kill the guards, and then kill Rivendare. You know, make sure you loot Rivendare as well, because there might be a mount in there. Now, once that's done, before Sleight of Hand has run out, you want to head out of the room where the last boss is and to the left-hand gate. Now, there'll be a new NPC there called the Hand of Naxxramas. Now, there'll be an extra action button here to use your Argent Dawn commission to kill the NPC. Now, if you've done everything right, this NPC will die, and there'll be something in the chat kind of saying like, oh, you know, someone really needs to find out about this. So the person that needs to find out about it is Archmage Angela Dos Santos. Now, Angela is back at the Light's Hope Chapel. If she's not there, she might be over at Tyr's Hand. It kind of depends on how far through the questing you are. But once you speak to her, you kind of tell her all about it, and she'll give you a brand new quest called the Dread Citadel Naxxramas. Now, this quest changes depending on your rep with the Argent Dawn, depending on what you need, but for the most part, you're going to need large brilliant shards, arcane crystals, maybe a righteous orb, and a tiny bit of gold. Now, this is kind of an homage to the Naxxramas achievement from back in the day, which I think is really cool. If you're exalted with the Argent Dawn, this will be a free quest, and you will just be able to complete that. Now, obviously, go to the auction house, grab the items you require, and then complete the quest. This will give you the achievement, the Wards of the Dread Citadel, which is an account-wide unlock to unlock the secrets of Naxxramas. This also means that you do not need to equip your Argent Dawn commission to obtain Scourge Stones anymore, so you can just run in there. You don't need to have the trinket in Scholomance, in Strat, in Naxxramas. You can just get Scourge Stones naturally without needing the trinket. What this will also do is add a brand new Naxxramas portal in the Eastern Plaguelands over where it used to be, which is actually really cool. This isn't a special version of Naxxramas. This is still the Wrath of the Lich King version, so if you prefer to just fly from North Randalaran, you can still do that, but if you're in the Eastern Plaguelands anyway, you can port into Naxxramas. And this actually has a port out as well into the Eastern Plaguelands, which is extremely handy. Okay, so let's talk about the third and final part, and definitely the most exciting part, and that is crafting Tier 3 and removed Naxxramas Transmogs. So, now you've unlocked the secrets of Naxxramas and Vanilla Scholomance. The next part is to go into Naxxramas, and the first thing you need to do is create a makeshift grappling hook. Now, this is created with 3 items. The first item is Feralina's Sewing Kit. This simply drops from Grand Widow Feralina, so just go and kill her in the Arachnid Quarter. The next item is a Construct's Hook. This is in the second room of the Construct Quarter. It's just kind of hanging off a big vat of slime on the right-hand side of the room. And finally, an Abomination's Chain. Now, this is fished up from any slime inside Nax. It's not a rare drop. I got it on literally the second cast, so very easy to obtain. And once you get those 3 items, you can combine them to create a makeshift grappling hook. Now, make sure you right-click the makeshift grappling hook here, because it will learn the ability to use the grappling hooks around Naxxramas on your account. The next part is finding a goblin called Zakit's Skull Smash. Now, Zakit is located in Thaddeus's room, which is the last boss of the Construct Quarter. When killing bosses in Nax, make sure you're looting them as well so you can get these Scourge Stones, because we're going to need those in a little bit as well. So head to the Construct Quarter. You can kill Thaddeus if you want. You may as well, as you're there. And now you need to use your grappling hook to get to the ceiling of this boss room. So this is like a little fun puzzle, so I'm going to kind of talk you through it and show some video as well. It's not too bad once you've done it once. So as you walk into the Thaddeus room, you want to head to the left-hand side, go up the ramp, and on the left wall will be a platform with a grappling hook. So grapple hook over to there. Once you're up there, you want to to grapple hook across to the platform across from that, and then you want to turn right and grapple hook over to the next platform. From that grapple hook point, you want to turn around, put your camera up, and find the next grapple hook, which will take you up into kind of a windowsill. So from there, you want to kind of like gingerly walk across this little like edge, and then turn the corner and look across and try find the next grappling hook point. It's a little hard to get, so you might have to really hug the side and try not to fall off. But once you get it, you can grapple hook over to the next side, and then you look across and there'll be another grapple hook point there. You just got to get really, really close to the side here, click the grapple hook point once it goes gold, and hop on over across, and then you'll see Zacket to the right of you here. So you just want to jump across, and you'll see him laying on the ground. You can gently poke him if you really want to, but what you want to use here is your Strathhome Holy Water to wake him up. So you'll have some of that in your bag, and throw that on him, and that will wake him up, making him active. Once he's awake, he'll give you a new quest called Inconvenience Fee. Now, this is the quest to unlock all of the tier 3 stuff. This is a pretty simple quest, so what you need to do here is get 20 Invaders Scourge Stones. So these are from bosses in Strathhome and Scholomance. You might already have a few of these from Strat from earlier. Check your mailbox as well. If you didn't loot when you were there, they should just get sent to your mailbox by the postmaster. And you need 5 Corruptor Scourge Stones. Now, these are bosses from Naxxramas, so if you haven't got enough of these, just run back, kill a couple more bosses. You also need 3 Dark Runes. These do drop in Scholomance, but I found it was just easier to just buy them on the auction house, and then 1 Black Coffee. Now, these are sold by vendors in Shatrath, Stormwind, and Desire Law, but if you're lazy like me, get it on the auction house. It's pretty easy. There's a loader on there, and they're very, very cheap. So you just need to gather these items up for Zacket. Once you have them all, you want to grapple hook back up to Zacket. He might be asleep again, so if he is asleep again, just throw some more Strathhome Holy Water on him. Once he wakes up, you can hand in this quest. This quest actually rewards you a choice of tier 3 braces, depending on your armor type. So if you want to get the ones for you, then click those, but you can actually get other ones for like cloth and leather, mail, plate, because they are account wide as well. So you can just send that item across to another character if you want to do that. But yeah, the item to create tier 3 braces is actually from this quest, which is very handy. This quest also unlocks access to Zacket's Skull Smash on all characters on your account. Now, luckily, once you've completed this quest, he won't always be up here. He's actually just going to move to the entrance of Naxxramas, so on the outer ring area. He'll be standing there next to the Eastern Plaguelands portal. So any character on your account can now access him, and he's kind of the main part of this kind of tier 3 crafting and the Ancient Patterns crafting. So he offers a couple things. So he offers 2 different repeatable quests for Corruptor Scourge Stones and Invader Scourge Stones. So as mentioned, the Corruptor Scourge Stones do come from bosses in Naxxramas, and the Invader Scourge Stones come from Strathhome and Vanilla Scholomance. They don't come from the Mr. Pandaria version for some reason, so just the Vanilla version and Strathhome. Now you'll trade in 1 Corruptor Scourge Stone for 1 Death's Bargaining Chip, or you'll trade in 10 Invader Scourge Stones for 1 Death's Bargaining Chip. Now, Death's Bargaining Chips are a new item, which is account-wide, so you can send this across your characters, and these are used to purchase various things from Zacket. Now, you'll see here that you have items like Dented Raider's Helm, Dented Raider's Braces, Belt, Boots, items, etc. Now, these items are RNG, and what happens is when you purchase them for 3 Death's Bargaining Chips, it will give you a random transmog of that slot. So for example, with the Dented Raider's Helm, once you use that item, it will give you a random helm from the Eastern Kingdoms or Kalimdor. But the way that this works with the tier 3 stuff is when you use this helm, there's a small chance it will give you a Lamented Crusader's item. Now, these Lamented Crusader items need to be restored into tier 3. The way to do this is getting a crafted item for the armor type that you like. If you want to restore it to a cloth tier 3 item, you need Cursed Cloth. If you want to restore it to a leather item, you'll need Languished Leather. If you want to restore it to a mail item, you're going to need Scourge Scales. And if you want to restore it to a plate item, you will need Undeath Metal. Now, the interesting thing here, and the bit is a little bit contentious, is that these items can only be crafted by players who have tier 3 unlocked on their account. Now, the patterns to create these are sold by Zacket for 20 Death's Bargaining Chips, and these items can be placed as a work order. So these items are imperative to restoring your Lamented Crusader piece. So yeah, hopefully you have some friends with tier 3, or you have someone who can do the work order for you. The items required to make like the Undeath Metal and Scourge Scales and stuff like that isn't actually too difficult. It's just a couple of items from Naxxramas. So the War-Torn Scrap, which is a new item. These are just from trash mobs. You need some Arcanine Bars, some Essence of Undead, a Dark Rune, and Frozen Runes, which are now dropping in Naxxramas as well. So it's really not hard to get the materials. It's just going to be really difficult to find someone who has the tier 3 achievement to make it for you. But yeah, crafting orders is what you're going to want to be doing here. Once you have your lamented item and the item you want to create it to a certain armor type, you combine those together and that will create a desecrated item. Each desecrated item will tell you the materials you need to restore this item into tier 3. A lot of it is phylacter weave. The only way to obtain phylacter weave is to purchase it from Zacket for 2,000 gold. Now, some of these require 280 phylacter weave. Some of them, like the braces, for example, will only require 70. So the gold value does vary quite a lot. The other item you're going to need is 10 righteous orbs, which can just be farmed or bought in the auction house. That's very easy to get. But the bulk of the gold used to create tier 3 will be through phylacter weave, depending on your item. So yeah, it's not too expensive for individual items, but when you add it all up, you're probably going to be spending around 2.8 million gold for a full set of tier 3. Zacket also sells the slime-covered scroll, so this will reveal a random ancient recipe from Nax. This will set you back 12 bargaining chips. This will give you an ancient pattern from Naxxramas, so some of the old items that have been removed, which is nice. So yeah, this is how you get these. In the Zul'Gurub stuff, you got them from bosses, but it looks like in the Nax stuff, you simply just purchased it for 12 death bargaining chips. He also sells a new toy called the Plagued Grain for 15 deaths bargaining chips, and he also sells an item called the Rotten Delicious for 30 deaths bargaining chips, which is used to get the Mount Valiance, which we'll talk about in a little bit. On top of all of that, there's also one last part to get some Transmog from this. Now, this is a lot easier than the tier 3 stuff, don't worry. So in the military quarter in the first room, you'll see an item on the floor called Omeron's Second Handbook. Once you pick this up, this will start a quest called Omeron's Second Handbook. You just need to go and give this to Mastercrafter Omeron in Light's Hope Chapel in the Eastern Plaguelands. Completing this quest will give you the ability to find lost pages throughout Naxxramas. Now, there are 16 different pages scattered around Nax. I've got this map right here, which is the location of all of them, but some of them are little jump puzzles using your grappling hook. Some of them are just simply on the floor. Now, I'm not going to go through every single one here because it will be a really, really long video, but Wowhead have a really good article going over where each one is. This is the one-time thing. This is account-wide as well, so you just need to get all 16 of these. This will also unlock an achievement on your account. But yeah, the Wowhead article is super great. It's got like pictures and things like that. But yeah, I'm not going to go through all of them. It's going to take a very long time to do so. But yeah, that's the guide I used, and I highly recommend it. For every page that you hand in, it actually unlocks more and more items you can buy from Omarion, which are different recipes. These recipes are for the Icebane set, so the kind of like bluey set, which was removed from Naxxramas. This was from the original classic Naxxramas, and this will give the ability to craft it on any characters on your account. So this is an account-wide unlock once again. So yeah, you can just purchase these and create the Transmog set from removed Nax, which is really nice. The currency to purchase these are Argent Dawn Valor tokens. These can be obtained for a repeatable quest where you hand in Scourge Stones, so you can kind of choose whether or not you want to get the Argent Dawn Valor tokens from the Light's Hope Chapel NPC, or you can get the Death's Bargaining chips. It's all depending, really. But yeah, if you want to focus on that, you can use your Scourge Stones to purchase more and more Argent Dawn Valor tokens. One Corrupted Scourge Stone will give you one Argent Dawn Valor token, and then 10 Invader Scourge Stones from Strat and Scholo will give you one Argent Dawn Valor tokens. And the patterns cost 3 each, so it's not too bad at all. Just going to add a little bonus part to the end of the video here to get the Valiance Mount. This is a brand new mount added to all of the secret stuff. It is a undead horse mount, which is the horse used by Thane in the 4 Horsemen encounter. So to get this mount, you're going to need an item called a Rotten Delicious. This is sold by Zacket Skull Smash for 30 Death's Bargaining Chips. Now, remember, these Death Bargaining Chips are account-wide, so you can do this on multiple characters and send them over to one character to purchase it for 30. There's 15 bosses in Naxxramas, so it's about 2 runs or so. Once you've got the Rotten Delicious apple, you need to make sure Instructor Vesuvius is alive in your lockout and that it is a 10-man lockout as well. You want to head down to the stables there, and at the back of the stables you'll see a horse called Valiance. Now what you want to do here is approach Valiance while clicking the Rotten Delicious apple, and eventually you'll be able to give the horse the apple. Unfortunately, the horse will not accept this, so you need to head over to the Instructor Vesuvius fight, click one of the pillars on the right or left hand side to mind control one of the ads, then run that mind control ad over to Valiance. Once you get near Valiance, it should mount it, and then you run it back over to Instructor Vesuvius, then unmind control by right-clicking and doing dismiss, and then kill Instructor Vesuvius, and that will give you the mount. He will drop the Reigns of Valiance mount. This is a pretty easy mount to get, and it looks really cool, so yeah, there you go. That's how you get the Valiance mount in the Secrets of Naxxramas. And that's it. That is how you unlock vanilla Scholomance, the secrets of Naxxramas, the crafted items, and the Valiance Mount. Yeah, this is a big video. I appreciate if you watch the whole thing, and hopefully I explained it okay. Tier 3, not too bad, really. You know, it's a nice way to get guaranteed Tier 3, and it's a nice stretch goal of 2.8 million gold for an entire set. Obviously, the longer this goes, the easier it's going to be to get crafting orders, because people will slowly unlock the entire set over time. But yeah, right now it's probably going to be a pretty expensive thing to do. I think those crafting orders are going to be pretty expensive right off the bat, but it might get cheaper over time, or you might have friends who already have tier 3. So yeah, there you go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know down below what you think of the return of vanilla Scholomance, Naxxramas crafting, all that good stuff, tier 3 coming back, and the mount, of course. Yeah, this is a big one, and I really, I was really looking forward to making this video, so I hope you enjoyed it. So if you like this video, guys, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I also have a Patreon, and I'm on Twitter at MrGMYT, and I have a Discord channel as well. And as mentioned, I am on Twitch, twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, Dragonflight PTR, and more, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.